Hey there, folks. Just wanted to pop into a video. This was going on my TikTok, but it's too large of a topic to be on TikTok, I think. So it's like that we've gotten to the point where there's only two ways to save the CW, in my opinion, and I'll talk about both of them maybe at length. The first one is they need to drop down to 5 nights a week. They cannot support being a 7 night a week network. That doesn't work for them. They don't have enough content, and when they do have enough content, they run it into the ground, or they don't know how to do it. So the easiest thing would be to leave Friday and Saturday nights off the platform, off the table, and come back with Friday nights as you being special events like a series premiere or stuff like that you could get away with on the friendly affiliates and do stuff like that. Not saying that you can never bring those 2 nights back, but I think that Friday and Saturday nights are just too much for them to schedule for. And the second one is something I don't want to do, but I think it's necessary. The second idea is shutdown. I think after the Flash and Superman and Lois have their series and season finales, that they should go into a holding pattern pretty much and go into shutdown. And what that basically means is that once the Flash, you air back to back, Superman and Lois has its third season finale, Flash has its eighth on ninth. Yeah, I get confused with COVID. Everything's gotten kind of blended with the COVID shutdown when they had to shut down Flash for a while. That's what I mean. Flash has its ninth season finale, series finale too. And then at the end of the night, when you see Flash ending, it's just credits. There's no little half and half screen thing or whatever it is, like quarter of a screen thing where it says the coming to the CW. You go to the finale, you go and do the credits, and then once the credits are done, fade to black, you come back in, and someone is reading a special message that says, "We here at the CW would like to thank all our fans for your support over the years. However, we think for now it is best if we shut down for a little while, come back early next year. We will keep you informed of what's going on." And then they shut down and they give the networks back to the local affiliates with the condition that they sign contracts that says they will be back in January of 2023. Now, no, I got that right. January 2024. Excuse me. I keep thinking it's 2020. It's 2022, I believe. Yeah, it's 2022. That they come back in January 2024. This would allow them to almost hit the same mark that the first launch of the WB went on, which was January 1995. So you get pretty close to the 30th anniversary, and it allows them to relaunch. As we get closer, we get back in November, and a special message pops up on the CW's app that says, "Watch this space, we will be returning very soon." And the press release goes up on the official channel and the official website and the official app that says, "The plan is to return January 15, 2023, or 2024, excuse me, I keep getting the date mixed up, 2024. The reason for that date is it's a Sunday, I believe it's a Sunday. Excuse me, to take a swallow. And that would allow them to get out of the way of the college bowl games. It also says what shows will be coming back and which nights they will have. We'll get to that in a minute. Pardon me. Bear with us, since I have a YouTube video. So we come back in December, we get even more information. It says January 15th will be the premiere date, and the network will no longer be called the CW, but it will be called the CWB. And this is to go into being more of a way to apologize to the fans and say thank you for the fans who supported them ever since they were the WB, and even when they were UPN, because that's what the CW was combined. They wanted to call it the CWB, and they got vetoed by certain people. I think that was the best time to call it the CWB, as a way to bring back the nostalgia and to bring back those fans who have left. You should also be doing focus groups by fans of the WB to let them know what they like best, because what they're doing is they're trying to do what they like best on the WB and UPN and the CW, But the problem is they're imitating the worst things that they did. They're imitating the wrong shows to keep. They're imitating the fact that they're shortening shows. They're imitating the fact that they're doing certain things that they shouldn't. They're imitating the fact that they got rid of all the kids shows, which I think was stupid. We'll get into that in a minute too, a little while in this video. So they come back in January 15th. There's a big countdown clock that starts at 7 o'clock in the morning, or 6 o'clock in the morning, excuse me. 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. And it's got the new CWB logo. When that clock hits 0, Michigan J Frog returns. That's the first right there, the first wrong they're going to correct. They should correct. That's the first right they should correct. The second wrong is Sunday night should be the sitcom night. I don't know what sitcoms there will be. I mean, but there are plenty of scripts out there you could get and plenty of people you could get out there to be a sitcom. They need a Nick Friedel as a teacher. They need a Reba. I'll even say they need the What I Like About You, even though I was a big fan of that show back in the day. They need the Steve Harvey Show. They need new versions of these. Not necessarily retreads, but they need new hit sitcoms. They need a new Sister Sister. They should do 4 of them on Sunday night. You could call it the CWB Sunday. Now, why would I not do 3 hours? Well, it's easier to start with 2 hours. You could expand the 3 hours the next year or a couple of months later. We'll get to that in a moment. That night, they premiere with the 4 new sitcoms, and they end it with a little thing that says, hey, we'll see you next week. We'll see you Tuesday night, which is where we're going next. The second night of programming would not be on a Monday, but it'd be on Tuesday. This would be a way to bring back the CWB new Tuesday. Now, you need a Smallville. I don't care what anybody says. Smallville was their biggest hit for a long time, especially on Tuesday, following Gilmore Girls. You need a Smallville. You have a Smallville. You have a new Smallville. It's called Superman and Lois. That should be the one to anchor it at 7 o'clock in the evening. What should follow that? You need a new Supernatural. The Winchesters. Let that be the lead out. Let Superman, I almost said Smallville again because I love this show. You need a lead in and lead out. Let the lead in for the Winchesters be Superman and Lois. Let the lead out for Superman and Lois be the Winchesters. You're getting the nostalgia of Smallville and Supernatural back to back again, sort of. Now, we will do a third night. My schedule will be a third night. That'll be Wednesday nights. I was initially thinking Walker and Kung Fu because I know they love those shows. However, I got Smallville on the brain today, folks. My favorite show. If Superman and Lois season 4, because season 3 is going to premiere next year, it looks like, which is awesome. If Superman and Lois get season 4, and I think there's a good chance it will because they love that show, and if Winchesters get season 2, which I think there might be a chance because it's doing well, both of them 15 episode seasons. When they end their seasons, have them be replaced by Walker and Kung Fu for 15 episodes. That gets you to the end of the season. That gets you to the end of the thing, and maybe throughout the summer a little bit. I was thinking you could put Walker Kung Fu on Wednesday nights, but I think it might be best if for the first couple months, especially during the summer, on Wednesday nights, the CWB Wednesday, you make that the movie night. This is Warner Bros., folks. Between Warner Bros., CW, and HBO Max, they have plenty of movies they could show. You could take 5 movies, put up a poll for about a week, maybe 5 days, maybe 3 days, and see what people want to bring in. You could have Superman from 1978, Superman the movie from 1978. You could have Batman the movie from 1989. You could even keep going the next night and make a special event. Like if you have to have a tour, you could put it on earlier, go later, said that. You could do Pokemon Detective Pikachu. I know that's random, but that's a Warner Bros. Movie. You could do, I'm looking at my movies from Warner Bros. Right? You could do the original Mortal Kombat. And then you could put on like a special Smallville night movie, which would be Absolute Justice from not 7, not 8, season 9. And you can put that back to back, and then you have people vote out. Whatever wins gets that Wednesday night time slot. You could also do nights where it's the pilots of Smallville and Supernatural, because Warner owns those rights. They have them up on everything. You could do pilots, you could do episodes of Smallville back to back. You own the rights to it, WB. Put those on there. I think that they should do that for at least maybe half a year. Then when they come back in the fall, then they can do something else on Wednesday nights. But it should be 3 nights a week. The problem is they're going 7 nights. They're going balls to the wall. For my language, sorry. They're going nuts, and they don't need to be going full throttle. That's the problem. I think that the problem is they're going 7 nights a week. Scale it back to, if you can't scale it back to 5 nights a week, scale it back to 3 nights a week. For the first year, do that for 3 nights. The next year, you add them on a 4th night. You add on Thursday nights. Don't add on Mondays. Don't add on Fridays. Don't add on Saturdays. Fridays and Saturdays could be second to last and last. I think that if you keep Monday nights off the board, you keep that risk of having to go up against Monday Night Football and WWE Monday Night Raw and Quantum Leap there, stuff like that, with and the voice and stuff like that. And then you could bring Mondays in at another time. The WB started off slow, and they increased to 6 nights a week. They increased to Sunday through Friday, and even then they took their time. They experimented with our shows. That's why we got Buffy. That's why we got Angel. That's why we got Dawson's Creek. That's why we got Felicity. That's why we got Charmed. That's why we got Smallville. That's why we got Supernatural. That's why we got so many good shows. I mean, and just Jack and Jill, which was an awesome show. Reba. What I Like About You. The Oblongs, Mission Hill, Baby Blues, Invasion America. That's where it keeps going. Take risks. Don't do like new shows every single time. You have these shows with the other contracts that come up for when you shut down. Sell those shows to HBO Max, Paramount Plus, and maybe a Netflix. You'll make money that way, and then you can keep that money to shoot new pilots. Not necessarily new pilots. You could shoot shows. You could shoot those 4 sitcom pilots. You could have more in the can in case you need them. What hurts the CW is that they go too much. They stretch themselves way too thin. If you do 3 or 4 nights a week, that eases it. You only have to worry about 3 nights of programming, and we're going to get to my favorite idea in a moment. Now, that's January to October. In August and September, what they should do is start airing ads for a new Kids WB block to be on Sunday mornings. That way they can still keep the educational shows on until those contracts run out. Once those contracts run out, they could renew them, or they can move the Sunday stuff to Saturdays, which is what they used to do here, where I live. And they used to have the kid shows on Sunday mornings, the cartoons. Those 3 hours, it should be 3 hours on the weekend, on Sunday morning. It should be Tiny Toons Acme University, My Adventures with Superman, Freakazoid should return. Grab Animaniacs from Hulu and repeat it on there, or get some Animaniacs reruns, repeat them on there. Earthworm Jim can be brought back. That is in the pipeline. And get this new Batman, the Cape Crusader show going. Put those 6 shows on Kids WB or something like that. Even if you have to repeat, like weather shows, repeat Tiny Toons or something like that. Repeat them repeat one to make it all 3 hours. 3 hours is fine. Then, when you give back Saturday evenings, you take back the weekly afternoons. 1 hour a day at 4, 3 Central or 5, 4 Central. You put on 1 hour a day of kids programming. You do something. I try to figure out what shows you have 6 shows there. You do that. What I would love to see them do is make a deal with Netflix there, Pokemon once again on there. But if you can't do that, you have other shows. You have lots of shows you can air from HBO Max. There are reports that Mucho Lucha is coming back. There are reports they're trying to bring back Jackie Chan Adventures. You have lots of the pipeline. These shows were classics. I mean, you can bring these shows back anytime, release a season or two, and get the next generation of them ready. Don't do a hysteria where you go over budget. That was the first problem in the first place. You went over budget on these shows. Keep it to a minimum. You have enough shows. You don't have to do 10 million shows. If you do an hour a day from 3 to 4 or 4 to 5, you're good. You're fulfilling your need. You don't have to do that. And you can do that starting October like they did with the original Kids WB. That's it. January 2025 will be the anniversary of the WB. And it'll be the second year of the CWB. What you do then, expand to Thursday nights. That's when you get new shows. Shit. You could do Buffy the Animated Series. That's been talked about for years. You could do that on a Thursday night. Jeez Louise, guys. I mean, they got Buffy the Animated Series they want to do. They're planning on doing Smallville the Animated Series, so we'll see what happens there. You could do those two, and if you do half an hour for each one, that's an hour a night. If that's all you could do. And then you could repeat two of the sitcoms on there. You could repeat one of the other shows. You could repeat Superman and Lois. You also have Justice which is supposedly in development. You have Gotham Knights, which is supposedly in development. You can use those. During the summer, you can use those to pad some of the shows out and do reruns of the other things. I know that you guys want them to go to HBO Max, but still, it'll be easier even if they went to HBO Max, you say, this is a preview for HBO Max streaming service. To see this and other great shows, hook up here, sign this agreement here, and find this. That's all I can think of, because if the CW does not change their means, they're in for a very bad time. You're going to see them shut down one way or another. This will be the easiest way. And I know people are saying they lose money. According to them, they're already losing money. So I'm sorry, but folks, a total shutdown may be necessary for this network. And I'm like, just make sure that the affiliates know you'll come back in January, that you have plans, that you know what you're doing. But it needs a massive overhaul. That's all I gotta say about that. I ain't just like, needs a massive overhaul badly. And that's all I gotta say about that. And that's how I save the CW, because I don't know how else they're gonna save the CW. Because this thing's flying itself apart. They've canceled so many shows. They're losing Whose Line Is It Anyway, which is already inexpensive. They're losing The Flash. They're losing Riverdale. Nancy Drew's going. Stargirl's about to kick off. Stargirl's about to go. They lost like 7 shows last season because they canceled them all. This network is flying itself apart, and it needs a massive overhaul. Massive shutdown may be imminent for this network. And by that I mean that may be the only thing that could save that network. That they have to go into a holding pattern. Not necessarily shutdown, but a holding pattern. And you could do like reruns throughout the year and just let people know at the end of each rerun, like Smallville, Supernatural, The Flash, Arrow, and just say, hey, we are coming back. We haven't forgotten about you. Keep an eye on this location for the new CWB coming soon. That's all I could say, because if they keep going the way they are, then networks could be gone within 5 years. I guarantee it. I guarantee that they'll have to shut down one way or another. If they shut down like this now, like I was suggesting, that may be the saving grace. That may help them out a lot. But what do you guys think? I mean, I hope that's not what happens, but it wouldn't surprise me. I think they need to scale way back. We don't need 7 nights a week. 3 or 4 at the most would be very fine with me. I have no problem with that. Not only that, but you have so many shows you can just bring in and stuff like that. So, never say never. I'm not saying that that's what's happening. It probably won't happen. But I mean, like, never say never, and I think that's what's gonna happen. I think they're gonna have to scale way back because they don't have as much content as they think they do. And with them canceling all these shows and saying, cut. What happens now? And if they have to shut down, they have to shut down. I think the movie night will be the best thing to do during the summer on Wednesdays. I think that'll probably be the easiest way. And then the rest of the stuff just reruns. And then in January you come back fresh. Because I even bring that back. Fresh for the Frog was genius. But anyway, you guys think? And I'm glad to be back on YouTube. I want to do more videos more often and stuff like that. But this is the main topic I wanted to talk about tonight. And thanks guys for watching. And my name's Trekopedia, as my friends all call me. I'm happy to be back. Have a wonderful night, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.